I can't believe it, man. AEW and Jazwares still has things technically in the vault here. We have things that we did not know about still releasing, still to come from AEW and Jazwares. Now, we did discuss this a few months ago, talking about how, the AEW action figure line seems to be going away. They had some layoffs over at Jazwares, apparently letting go of the AEW action figure team, and it does seem like that was the case. I didn't see anybody coming out and saying that wasn't the case or challenging that, so I do believe that is still in fruition, but they still had some action figures down the pipe that we have still not gotten in hand. We talked about this with the Darby Allin Flamethrower figure. There were some other figures. The ringside exclusive Hiroshi Tanahashi figure that should still be coming. We haven't had any updates on that. I'm interested to know, approaching Comic-Con, if they'll even have an AEW action figure display. Something in my brain tells me they might have a small AEW action figure display at Comic-Con so that we can see that. I don't expect to see AEW as a part of their panel. Every year, Jazwares does their big panel, but they do it together with everything. So if you wanted to see the new AEW action figures at Comic-Con, as far as the panel is concerned, where they talk about upcoming releases, you had to sit through the Squishmallow and the Pokemon and some of these other products and these properties that they had. So it was already a pretty small reveal, so I'm imagining with this, they may not even have anything on display, which shouldn't shock me or wouldn't shock me, but I don't know, it's still up in the air, I guess, because there's a few different figures we haven't seen just yet that are apparently still coming down the line. Maybe they'll announce something about their model switching or something like that. We do think that AEW is probably going to go in a different direction as far as who manufactures or creates their action figures moving forward. There's no real news about that, but let's get into the figures they revealed today as part of Ringside Collectibles. We had 2, or actually 3 technically, brand new Ringside exclusive figures. And these Ringside exclusive figures are pretty sick, man. Let's start off with the first one. Will Ospreay getting an AEW Ringside exclusive. Now, of course, Will Ospreay does have his own AEW action figures already. He had an absolute banger figure with his Supreme Edition that we got last year. It was a Ringside exclusive. It was a Jazwares Vault exclusive as well. But this figure looks pretty good, man. I think you have some really good things here. And one thing that's really special about this AEW figure, this Will Ospreay, is that he actually has, I think, to my knowledge, maybe not all of them, but he has significantly more tattoos. He's got way more updated tattoos, which is big. I don't know exactly if you can take the Supreme and then mod it to have this fit. I'm sure you could probably, if you really messed with it, you could get this arm, this tatted up arm into the Supreme figure just to fix that up if you wanted a Supreme edition with everything going on. However, I will say this still is much better having all the full tattoos on there. So I think that this is really big just for that reason, because a lot of us were out here thinking, oh my goodness, now we're going to have all these we have these great Will Ospreays, right? We have, this would be his 4th figure from AEW and Jazwares, but, we were thinking getting this figure, we were thinking with his Supreme figure, oh man, this is fantastic, but now he's got a sleeve, and now we are not going to have any of the tattoos on the figures, and we don't know when the hell we'll get another Will Ospreay figure unless he somehow went to WWE later on down the line or something, so, I don't know, but now we don't have to worry about that because apparently this new Ringside exclusive is going to have that. Also, you get a really sweet jacket. You have this blue and silver gear, which is really sweet. You get 2 interchangeable head sculpts, the yelling head and the straight face. I don't think either of these is brand new. The straight face may be brand new. I don't recall that. I do remember the yelling one, or it's pretty similar to the yelling one that we've seen. However, this is a really, really strong figure, man. I think this looks great. He comes with the elbow pad. He's got all the bells and whistles. I think that this jacket is going to be cloth goods. I hope that it's cloth goods. If it's not, well, then I don't know what to tell you. Probably hack the sleeves off. But I think this is going to be a cloth goods jacket, which would add to his incredible run of cloth goods jackets that we've already seen. The Supreme, the Jazwares Vault exclusive, or the Shop AEW exclusive that was really, really sweet. So Will Ospreay has fantastic figures released, and I'm excited for this one as well. You also notice he has is that not the Assassin's Creed tattoo actually on his arm? I don't know how they keep getting away with this, but regardless, Will Ospreay looks sick. I'm excited for that, but we have even more exciting news at AEW and Jazwares. 2 more figures that we did not know about that are going to be releasing is the 2 exclusive AEW Ringside exclusive Surfer Sting figures, apparently in 2 different variations. So we have the orange variant with the blue Scorpion, and then we have the blue edition with the orange Scorpion, both with pretty much the exact same head sculpts. They are going to come with interchangeable heads that have different face paints. So that's pretty cool, man. They're repainted and whatnot. And I don't know which one I like better, to be honest with you. I think both of them look pretty damn cool. I love this formula for Sting, especially for the Surfer Stings. Now, we have seen quite a bit of Sting figures from AEW and Jazwares, and we're getting a couple more Surfer Stings here, which I think is huge. I don't know if you guys have been around the horn, but I am a big Sting fan. I love Surfer Sting. I love Crow Sting or regular Sting, WCW Sting, whatever you want to say. I am a huge fan of Sting, so seeing us getting more Sting figures is absolutely huge, and I don't really care what look they are. I just want to see more Sting figures. But we did know that we got the unmatched version. Remember, it was originally going to be yellow and red, I think, and they changed it to the blue and white. Then we had the Chase variant from that same wave that was kind of that Blade Runner look that was pretty cool. And I never tracked that figure down. I need to track that figure down. But you had that version. And then we did see the 3-pack, the Legacy of Sting 3-pack, which is still an amazing set. I love that set. We got that last year, I think, in hand right before San Diego Comic-Con. So had that set in our hands about a year now. And we had that set, which was incredible, to add to the Sting collection. And now it looks like we are getting 2 more to kind of fit into the bill there. And I like this, man. I dig this. You have the orange with the blue Scorpion. I mean, you're looking at repaints. It's not a huge thing, but I think this will sell just because this looks to be the last Sting figures, unless they're hiding something else or, some other things are coming down the line. I don't really know, man. I really, as much as we do know about the AEW Jazwares line coming to an end, it seems like they, I guess we did know that more figures were coming. We kind of speculated that more AEW action figures would be coming, but this is still pretty cool to kind of drop on as something that, I kind of read them off. I had a couple things in my brain where I'm like, okay, I know this is coming, referring to the Darby Allin with the flamethrower, referring to the Hiroshi Tanahashi figure. I had that in my brain. I'm like, oh, that'll probably be the end of the line, but now they've dropped 3 new figures on us that we had 0 clues about. So that's pretty cool, man. I'm excited for all 3 of these figures in their own way. Yes, they are repaints, but I think they have some upside across the board. We don't know what the packaging is going to look like. I'm sure a lot of these will have cool packaging. So, AEW and Jazwares always crushes that. So I don't know, and I don't know what really goes into that, but I will say, if these figures were not going to come to fruition, why would Ringside Collectibles put them up for pre-order? I think they have word that these are still going to be coming out, so of course they're going to go ahead with their pre-order and everything, and these have been up a couple hours. I don't think that this is a mistake or something like that. I think these figures will release, and when we actually, get some sort of prototype images or something like that, I imagine that, I'm not going to lie to you, man, I have no idea if we're going to get something at San Diego Comic-Con, though. I do not know. I don't know if I had to make a guess or an educated guess, I would say probably nothing to show at Comic-Con for AEW and Jazwares together. I don't think that we'll probably see any, the last few years we've seen some sort of AEW talent be present and, everything like that. I highly doubt that's the case. I don't think we'll see something like that to come to fruition. So we'll just have to monitor this and see where it goes. But it's still pretty cool that we're getting new AEW action figures, especially out of nowhere, man. I think this kind of solidifies how bummy it's going to be once all these figures are out and we're no longer getting brand new AEW action figures. I think this solidifies for me how sucky it's going to be that we're not getting any more, because I woke up to this, or I saw this, and it brought me some joy. I'm like, damn, this is sick. We get a new Will Ospreay. We get 2 new Sting figures. And unless those guys go to WWE, this is probably their last full-scale, go with your Mattels, fit in your Jazwares collection. These are probably your last figures of these guys that we will see for the foreseeable future. We don't know what holds beyond that, but, Sting, I don't know where the hell he sits. I would love to see him come back to WWE or sign a Legends deal in some respect like Billy Gunn or something where he can get WWE and AEW action figures. We've seen this with a few different talents. I would love to see him do that. I gotta imagine he's leaving a lot of money on the table, which I know not everything's about money, but man, it would be really nice to see some new Sting figures from Mattel as well as Jazwares. But I'm gonna say that these are probably the last ones, but anything's possible, man. I would love to see some new figures that we don't know about, or, if they drop some surprises on us, that would be really cool. I'd really like to see a new Supreme dropped on us out of nowhere. I don't really care who it is, but I don't know, man. Doesn't really seem like that's going to be the case, so I'm not going to hold my breath on that. But that is it for what we have today, man. Some brand new AEW action figures dropped on us out of nowhere like a damn RKO, man. But that is pretty much going to wrap it up for me. I hope you guys did enjoy. I'd love to know your thoughts on all these figures down in the comment section below. If you're going to be grabbing the Will Ospreay, if you're going to be grabbing the Stings, and they are up for pre-order right now, so you can go over to Ringside Collectibles, use code MDTOYS to save yourselves 10% when shopping over there. You can grab anything you want. Use code MDTOYS, saves you an additional 10%. But I appreciate you guys so very much for watching. Thank you for everything. You guys are an absolute blessing. But I will see you guys in the next video. Have a blessed one, and I will catch you guys later.